holding. Hi, look at us together. We're here in the same place.
Need to limp
together.
drain my face while we're at it.
Right?
We're going to talk about grief today, and it's perfect because I've been grieving all weekend. I'm in town for a celebration of life. And I was just telling Sarah, I've been eating like a jerk and I'm all puffy. I've been eating all the carbs, all the sugar, all times of day and night, just eating my feelings. So yeah, I see
Eating my
myself on
feelings.
screen and I'm like, ah, oh my God. I'm so puffy.
You don't look that puffy.
You're
though.
sweet. It's all
Really.
good. I'm extremely, but it's okay. I'm just gonna drink water. It's also 8 a.m. Let's add that it's top of the day. Maybe by like 1 p.m. this will have good.
Maybe the elevation of the airplane will help drain your fluid.
Just keeping it real over here. I'm
Yeah.
also, when you
That's right.
cry, you just puff up. It's like the least beautiful. You want to look gross in no time at all, just cry. But it feels so good. Crying is so cathartic, so healthy, so good. So I didn't want to hold it in at the celebration of life. I was just letting it go. But that's why in all the pictures, I'm glad I thought to wear lipstick because my smile looks cute. Everything from the nose below is cute. Everything from like just marshmallow cry face,
Cry face.
Mm.
You just said so many things that I'm like, oh,
Did
there's
I
all
pee
kinds
you
of
up? Like,
yeah, I was just like thinking, I wonder why, from a physiological standpoint and a nervous system standpoint, right? Like crying is so cathartic, but like,
delicious and healthy and good.
right.
Releasing,
Mm-hmm.
but then it makes your jaw tight and your face puffy.
Well, and then I was also
Ugh.
thinking nervous system, like override, right? Like if you override your system,
Yes.
it's like I know there's a lot of people who feel grief or sadness and they override their system by saying, okay, I'm not going to cry. And then I would say, what would I say there? I would say, what does that feel like in your body? To hold in crying,
To suppress it, to stuff it. Yeah.
or the other side of it is like, if you're in public and you're crying, it's like, why? What does that feel like? To cry in public and be vulnerable and be like so raw and open. And it makes me think like, physiologically, why is it that when you cry, you puff? That feels like histamine, like that feels like inflammation. Like your body's gonna send inflammation to the site. I don't know.
Well, when you said inflammation, I think about the cookies that I ate for breakfast
Right.
yesterday. And, yes, whole system inflammation is definitely 10 out of 10. That's a little separate, but still connected.
And I feel like
But yeah, that's
inflammation gets a bad rap, right? Because it's painful, but inflammation is also necessary.
It's protecting.
Yeah.
It's cushioning. So yeah, why
Too much of it is painful.
Well, and I feel like my face swells up so much I can barely see. I have to go clockwork orange with the keeping my peepers open. So I don't know, but the puffiness of the face, maybe it's like, it's like I can't see. I'm not meant to navigate anywhere right now. Like just keep your ass still and be sad. Maybe it shuts my face down on purpose.
I kind of like that, yeah.
I'm kind of good for nothing though when I'm in a sad, soppy mess of grief and I'm letting it flow, which I know this is why we're here. This is the assignment.
And I was also gonna say, like, it reminds me of the postpartum period where you're meant to keep your ass at home. Like, like you said. And I think in a space of mourning and grief, like you are meant to stop, rest, and allow your body to do whatever it is your body wants or needs to do.
I love that thought. So maybe there's a purpose that your body is arresting you when you have all the physiologic sadness and like depression literally feels so fucking heavy. I feel like I've lead in my blood.
Yeah.
Like over the last week. So just a little context for anybody who cares about that. Um, so
Does
I'm in
anyone
town.
out there care about context? Me, I do.
I'm in town, obviously, with Sarah in St. Louis, but I live in San Antonio, Texas. And one of my old friends, Jasa Duncan Alexander, uh, passed away recently. And so her celebration of life was 2 days ago on Sunday, which coincidentally was also Dia de los Muertos. So part of my grieving has been interesting because it's been long distance. I got the news from the land of far, far away, and it was very abstract and surreal. Plus, I hadn't seen Jason in person in many years. We'd kept in touch through social media and texting and friends of friends and like, kind of in community with each other. But it was not like I had seen her or been in the same space as her for a long, long time. Anyway, I got the news over the phone like maybe a month ago um about her passing, and so I processed it from far away in the abstract, but it didn't really, I still had to, function and have my life going. So I didn't really stop to grieve it fully until it kind of sunk in maybe a week or so ago when, okay, within the week I knew I had the flight home and like da 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 da. I was kind of shifting gears. I was also ramping up my production of these flower crowns. That was part of my manic processing, was like getting crafty with the hot glue gun and all these artificial flowers and all these headbands. It was really, really fun. I hosted a flower crown making party. Some girlfriends came over.
That's
So
so cool.
it's kind of fun. It was like pumpkin carving like that. Fun to do it alone or with the fan, but it's great to get a group together to do it. So anyway, that was my crafting processing of the grief, was just like, trying to make these flower crowns. Some of them were kind of with individuals in mind. Some of them were just general, arts and crafts time. But anyway, it was so crazy when I came into town and started to drive around and see all the places that, we used to party at, and all the different apartments where, we hung out at together before. Like all the memories, just the flood of memories, and feeling the space and time component big time. It's like flashbacks on every corner, And then of course being there Sunday. So it's been weird to process the grief attached to the loss of Jasa because of all of the other different circumstantial components, like me being out of town, having to process it like more acutely as the event, the celebration of life is approaching, and then being at the celebration of life, and then today and afterwards, not to mention just physiologically not sleeping well because, traveling and all that. But this has been a really, I'm going to be journaling about it later. It's been interesting to like it still feels more surreal than real, even though I've been to the event.
Yeah, there hasn't been the integration.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's been no grounding point. There was not like a viewing of the body, for example. There's been nothing to sort of anchor the reality of it. So in my mind, I'm still in San Antonio and I'm still like, it's the reality. Yeah. As you said, it hasn't integrated. There hasn't been a reintegration yet. And all this new, like I was at the event, that was the first time I met her husband and obviously met her baby and like got to hold the baby and meet other family members, and new. It was really, really emotional when I saw other mutual friends where again the flood of memories came back that we could share and talk about. That was what, like, I got choked up just now, like even thinking about that. So that is where it was more real. But this was a very abstract loss for me, I think is what I'm dancing around. Maybe that's the point. So I'm still kind of chewing on it because it was less straightforward. And most of the grief that I've experienced has been ambiguous grief. Like there are people that I'm no contact with who are still alive, for example, or the relationship has transformed or changed. And so it's still a form of grief, but not total loss. So all kinds of abstract grief. Yeah.
I think, well, first of all, I just want to say thanks for sharing all of that with us, because you don't have to, you don't have to share that. And I believe that it's probably part of the grief process to share, with as many people as possible, even if it's like this very, I don't know this person. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I actually probably know somebody who knows them, but like,
it's St. Louis.
Right. But I also feel like it really is unaffecting me, right? Except for through watching my friend go through this process. But I think that you've touched on a lot of things that are so fundamental to like the grieving process. I share this story often, so I may have already shared this on the podcast, or I know I've wrote a blog about it. But when I was really pregnant with my first son, my aunt died, and she tragically and like really unexpectedly died. And she was out of town, and we didn't live in the same town, and I was super pregnant. I couldn't travel, and there was something about like not being able to be at that celebration or that funeral, or that even witnessing the body, viewing the body, those kinds of things. It's such an anchor, like you said it so beautifully. It's such an anchor in the whole experience. This is why, we say that your funeral, your death, your celebration of life, all those things are not for you. They're for us. So when those people are like, I don't want a big thing, I say, you do want a big thing, because all of those things help everyone you love move through what happened.
I'm smiling because I'm sorry to interject too, but maybe Jason knew that, because that was her request, was to not have any saddle party, like, or saddle funeral. She wanted a legit party. She wanted Funky Butt Brass Band to come out, and she wanted it to be in her favorite venue.
Yeah. And that is what helps us, the living, still move through that. It's not like what's that word? Like modest. Like, I feel like people are like, ooh, I don't want it to be whatever, because I'm trying to be modest, or like humble, humble or egotistical or something. It's like, no, this is actually what gives us life. It truly is what gives us life.
They were talking a little bit about the difference between a funeral and a celebration of life also. There were a number of speeches, and one of the speeches that I thought was really great, this guy was like, raise your hand if you've ever been to a celebration of life, and maybe like half the hands went up. I've been to smaller celebrations of life, but nothing at this scale. This maybe had like maybe 300 people there.
Oh, nice.
Like, it was people showed up. It was fun. It. Maybe I'm not good at those number things.
That's okay.
But honestly, I would say 200 without breaking a sweat, at least 200, but probably up to 3. I mean, it was really full.
I think that's fair, and it paints a good picture. It's like, it wasn't 10 people.
It was a big, thank you.
Yeah.
I think that's million. The numbers thing. Guess the beans in the jar, Adam.
I'm not good at that either.
30? Yeah. But and then a funeral is like, more, this is where you are sad, obviously, right? Traditional funeral, this is where sadness is appropriate. Celebration of life is not that sadness isn't appropriate, but the way they kind of positioned it, it's like, you've already grieved, you've gotten that out of your system, and you show up to the celebration of life ready to party, ready to drink, it kind of reminded me of Dia de los Muertos, which was, that was the same day. It was Sunday. So I was like, okay, this is apropos. I'm really fucking glad I made all these fucking flower crowns.
Yeah, totally.
And it was really cool too to see them kind of being worn by various people and circulating throughout the crowd. And I was like, hey, there's one. Yay, that little girl still got that one,
Yeah,
it was kind of a joy spark.
You can also go back because she gave me and my daughter one and I posted it on social media. So
glad y'all got the two that you got.
Yeah. We love
fabulous. Yay. Yeah, I'm glad that was an opportunity to turn some manic processing into something that could be paid forward and shared. But anyway, it was just celebration of life versus funeral. But sadness was allowed, but yeah, it was a different flavor of ritual.
Yeah, and I love that you got to see people that you shared memories with. That's another thing that one of the
we could talk about, or we could
and that's actually like there's 5 things I want to say about this, but that's actually how we keep our people alive. Like we keep their memories alive, right? I'm not trying to pretend like they're not I'm not trying to pretend like they're not dead, but this is how we keep them alive. And like one of my mentors, Stephen Jenkinson, I feel like we have to talk about Stephen Jenkinson if we're talking about grief and death, right? And one thing he says is that one of the things that he noticed about dying people was that there was this like kind of just I don't want to say like a denial of what's happening, but there is sort of this like everything's gonna be okay, right? And at some point we need to have a conversation with people that's like, no, not ever. You're not going to survive this. Like, we're not going to survive this whole life thing. We're all going to die. And like, that seems so obvious, but yet we act in our lives as if it's
like in massive denial and in the pursuit of our own control over all. And how grieving having little goodbyes can somehow hypothetically hopefully prepare us for the big one.
Right. And, I just remember, to ground this into something real, is like when my mom was dying of cancer, people would be like, you got to be a fighter. You got to fight this cancer. And of all the times in life when you are like depleted via chemotherapy and whatever else, the last thing I think they probably have any energy to do is fight. And I remember being like, talking to my mom and being like, Mom, I want you to do whatever you feel comfortable with doing. And if you're ready to go, like, I support that.
How old were you?
Like 32. And I just remember like everyone else was not willing to say those things to her. Everyone else was like, fight, take the drugs, which I wasn't saying do or not. I was really like giving her openness to like just choose not to. And I feel like that was really, I mean, it was my mom. I didn't want her to die. But I also know that what is happening is like we all know that we're next. We're next at some point, right? And so when I think about like my mom dying, I don't think she ever would have guessed that I would have celebrated her in the way that I have learned to since she's died, right? So we have her picture all over my house. We do all kinds of things for her and my dad. My dad died too, and my grandma. It's like we do all these things for our family to keep their memories alive. Because I know, and this isn't the because why, right? Because the real because is like, this is how they grandparent from the other side, right? They grandparent from this other side via my memories, via their pictures, via, oh, this was my mom's favorite dessert. This was my mom's favorite, whatever. Today my kid kicked a soccer ball and hit the lamp that belonged to my grandma. I was like, whoa, you cannot break the lamp. That belonged to Grandma Tilly, like, so there's kind of this, it's like, this is how we keep their memories relevant and right there in front of us. Whereas like, I feel like so many times it's very normal culture in America, or like Anglo North American probably, is that they die and then we don't talk about them anymore. And like, here's the thing.
Because they're in heaven with
Yeah,
God, right?
right. There's that
They've
religious
gone
piece.
to the other place.
That's probably better than here.
Mm-hmm.
So they think.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I want to hear all the stories about my mom and my dad and my grandma that I don't know. Like the little ones, like you were saying with your friends, we're sharing memories
Yeah.
about her. I bet you learned things about her that you had no idea.
Heard so many stories.
Yeah,
That was
and
so on brand for her. But yeah, I mean,
I feel like, what
yeah.
would it be like if you did that every year?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, like,
I love Dia de los Muertos so much.
Me
It's
too.
it's the best holiday,
too.
I swear to God. And I never knew much about it before I lived in San Antonio. And down
Oh,
there they
yeah.
do Muertos
Mhm.
Fest. Like every city has Muertos Fest. It's a big deal. It's kind of like how we do St. Patty's Day or something.
Mhm.
Like bigger. It's bigger than St. Patty's Day. But it is, it's beautiful. There are altars everywhere, ofrendas everywhere.
Mhm.
The little animal spirits, the alebrijes,
Yeah.
those are sold,
Oh, I love it.
yeah, it's just, and I've sort of adapted it in that it's a positive way to, like you say, keep their memories alive. And it's little things. It's like knowing the details, like what music somebody was into, or
Mhm.
like I have a mug that was my Nanny Moss mug. And there are days when I want to connect with my mom's mom because I just miss her for some reason. It doesn't matter if what I'm missing happened or not, if it was real or not, if it's a character of her or real. Like, I guess I'm getting into another subject because it's
I was
like,
like,
I
say
would,
more, say more.
yeah. So, like, for example, the way that your kids, like Aunt Tilly or Grandma Tilly's,
Yeah.
who is it?
My Grandma Tilly.
Grandma Tilly's lamp. Like, okay, so your kids are connecting like that little detail with that character. It's like we get a fragmented view of who these people were. So the more detail we have, the better. Um, yeah.
Well,
I was
okay.
going somewhere with that and then it dropped out.
It's all good if it comes back.
Yeah.
I welcome it. I was gonna say this, what you're talking about reminds me of another author of mine, Perdita Finn, who wrote the book Take Back the Magic. And she speaks about how she also wrote The Way of the Rose, which is reclaiming the rosary, the Catholic rosary from like a she's a climate activist and she's a feminist, and so she's like reclaiming the Mary, the Virgin, you know. Anyway, but what she talks about is how she does a lot of praying, and she invites all kinds of dead people into her prayers. So one thing she told me, I was in class with her a couple of months ago, and she was saying that her daughter has a connective tissue dysfunction, like kind of like Ehlers-Danlos, but probably something, a different diagnosis. So she invites Elvis into her prayer because he had to have had connective tissue dysfunction. That's how he could move his hips like that. And I just
Interesting.
think,
Okay, that's fun.
right. And I think this is really interesting because it's like her whole thing is like the dead on the other side want to help us. They want to be with us in whatever way. So if we invite them in, then they can be with us, you know. And so she's like inviting pets and dead family, and like whether they had a good relationship or not, like on the other side they learn things.
I don't hate that. It's something to be intrigued by, I think.
I have to say it was a book that like really transformed a lot of my conflicted relationships with my parents, like my dead parents, you know. It was kind of like, and I remember telling my mom before she died, we had our issues, like a lot of parents and children do. And I said, you know what, you're dying, you've got cancer, like I'm gonna repair this once you're gone. Right now, we're just taking care of you. We're, transitioning, we're moving you to the next stage. And I'm gonna repair this after you're gone. And I feel really like I held true on that end of my bargain, where I feel like I have done so much healing around my relationship with her. And by healing, I don't mean like, well, now she's dead, so like we're good. It's like, oh no, 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 no. The healing work is deep and layered and conflicting and confronting and hard work, but Perdita's concepts of like inviting the dead to the conversation, like that's what Dia de los Muertos is kind of like too, right? Like on that one day we
Stay
invite,
connected.
yeah, we invite our dead to eat and nosh and all this stuff.
Party. It's
Right.
a party.
Yeah.
Because it's Mexican and they have beautiful traditions where, booze and music and food.
Booze and music and food.
People. That's the recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. To imbue joy and the best of humanity. Honestly, if you think about like I had a picnic with some friends and their daughters yesterday, and that's basically what Dia de los Muertos is. It's like you hang out in the cemetery or in the home, like, but in a space where you can recall that person, and you can invite them into the space, and you feel them in the space. You're supposed to feel them in the space, like you eat their favorite food, you drink their favorite whatever, you know, as part of it, as part of adding to the ritual. But yeah.
Well, and I would say that it's a like a lie. This might sound radical, but like it's a capitalist lie, it's a whatever hyper individualist lie that we are supposed to suffer, sacrifice, and not have joy. And I think that that's sort of what's changing right now, right? Is that we're seeing that to imbue joy is kind of like what it means.
And joy that don't cost a thing. Because I would say that capitalism thrives on selling joy, right? Beer is going to give you joy. A car is going to give you joy, right? The false sense of it. What I like about Day of the Dead is it's like none of that shit.
Right.
So anyway, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're
not
good.
being argumentative. It was just like yes and or yes.
Yes,
however.
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because it's like I think joy that don't cost a thing, where it is heart-centered joy. It's not materialistic joy. It's like actual true. I don't know. I don't want to start speaking about it in values, because then it's like moralistic, and we all agree joy is a good thing, and I kind of don't care how you get it. If you need to do some retail therapy,
right,
nothing wrong with that. I don't want
to. I actually was on the way. Go ahead.
No, I just, but it's, and what we know about social gathering with safety reinforcement, and like how that heals on that level, and that nervous system level, there is something beautiful about, think about all of the chemical, what's happening inside of you when you gather with loved ones to cry and dance and sing and eat good food, and like it's literally a custom event for rapid healing.
Yeah.
Right.
It's rite of passage, it's culture work, it's the framework of our society.
I'm so glad that at least my Mexican American friends who have said this, it's not appropriation for white people to make an ofrenda and like celebrate Dia de los Muertos the way that Mexicans do. Like they're like, no, we're not. We don't call dibs. Like we can share. Right. We're capable of it.
Right.
And I'm so grateful that we can adopt it a little bit.
Well, that's why
feel free.
That's why it's called why you hear me say Anglo North America, and it's the white North Americans. We have traded our culture for consumption, consumerism, capitalism, all those C words, I guess. And now it's a huge poverty in our culture where we're really lost. And we do have to look to our Black and brown friends to be like, we messed up. We left all of our culture. I mean, and I shouldn't say we left all of it, because there's plenty that we still have, right? But
I know some Mexicans who voted for Trump, so
it does take a remembering of
there's a lot of
culture. But I do want to say what I was going to say earlier is, on the way in, I was listening to this new podcast I found called Diabolical Lies, and they had an episode on ethical consumption. And they I'm not finished listening to the episode, so there's that. But one thing that I heard them talk about was dopamine. And I heard you say like you want to take it out of the moralistic, like value-based idea, right?
Like the idea of just buying your dopamine.
Right. And that's what they were saying is like we have essentially lost track of where to get dopamine outside of the places that the machine has told us to get it.
Yeah.
And I think that's really interesting. Also, fun fact in there is that women actually don't thrive in dopamine, we thrive in oxytocin.
Good point.
So then I think instead of chasing dopamine, why aren't we chasing oxytocin?
Yeah.
Which is not retail therapy, right? Like I'm not here to judge anyone on that either because that's what we have right now. But like if we're really looking from a physiological standpoint and what our bodies are moving toward, it's like you got to go chase oxytocin, which is like a cuddle puddle.
Hugs and snuggles, lots of touch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to see what kind of like grief ritual could circle around oxytocin. Hmm. Actually.
So, and I'm also thinking about how we all have different touch level preferences. So, what are the best ways to obtain healthy oxytocin without huddle puddling or puppy pile or even touch based oxytocin?
Well, it's funny because I did not really plan what I'm about to say
Ah,
or this, but
yeah.
I just put this thing on my website and I haven't announced it to my clients yet, but I put an offering on my menu of like just grief massage because like I'm thinking of one person that I've met through a grief massage where someone was like, you need to go see Sarah because I have like a nurturing, energy. And they're like, you just need to go get a massage from Sarah. And so she came in and, someone close to her had just died and she wanted to cry. She wanted a place to cry. And she did.
Intentionally.
Yeah. Well, and I just like moved intuitively with wherever I was just kind of listening to her body.
How did that affect your flow? Did you keep flowing and going the
Oh,
whole time?
yeah, totally. It
Yeah.
was so beautiful. And I was like, if I could do this every day.
Was it
I
hands-on or
would.
ashi?
I did do a bit more hands-on. Yeah, she wanted to try the barefoot massage, so like we did some of that too, but it was a lot more holding and cradling, head cradles and stuff like that. But it was really a beautiful experience for her and for me too, but I was like, I didn't make all this connection until right now, but it's like if we're women chasing oxytocin and grief ritual. There's something there.
What I was curious about as you were describing that, because I'm a visual thinker too, so I was imagining, was she supine or prone? Because energetically, was she more open? And when you said neck and head cradles, like energetically, my intuition would say work on the legs or the feet and give her a wide
Yes.
berth so she could feel that energy.
Yes.
Well,
and it was the first time we had met each other. And so I started feet and I started prone. So she had face down space to feel.
Yeah.
And then as the time went on, then we flipped over and then that's when more head cradle stuff was happening.
Did you ever find that she would start crying and you felt, okay, I need to give her more room?
Oh yeah.
Like, and you would, yeah.
Yep.
Shift your sequencing around what was happening. Yeah.
And she didn't have to say any of that, right? I could just feel that was what was needed.
Yeah. So that's like a deep energy session where you're really attuning. So one other sort, I asked you the question before, but I'm going to answer it as well. So that's how I do. Another way to get oxytocin in a non-touch way is to just cuddle like an inanimate object, like a plushie, or so have a sensory retreat. That could be one way. So like what a grief process that's oxytocin focused could look like would be, this could actually be really fun. It could be like you walk into a room and the floor is covered in mats and cushions and things that are squishy, like those plushmallows.
Oh yeah,
Like
we
I
have a ton of those
took
too.
right, like if you have kids. I took a nap in my friend's daughter's bed the other day and I woke up covered in plushies and plushmallows. It was so cute. The girls had tucked me in with all the plushies. But I felt amazing. So it could be like that. It could be a sensory retreat. I'm saying on the floor because I am a kapha and I like the floor, but it could literally be just any kind of relaxed, safe, comfortable, sensory experience.
Right. Well,
that's communal, that has good, maybe like I say, make it last, lighting, aroma, sound, and temperature. So create the space intentionally with good, temperature, like make it, I would want a heated blanket. Yeah.
I was also thinking if we're really talking about oxytocin, we actually don't even have to touch at all because oxytocin is part of like that act of like, this is Grandma Tilly's lamp, or like you were saying, what was it? Your Nana?
Oh, Nanny Ma.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nanny
her
Ma, like
mug, yeah.
and like this is Nanny Ma's mug, and like
or her rings,
you
or
know,
like
yeah,
little
like
mementos.
being with that. I mean, if you wanted to be like, let's have a cup of tea, Nanny Ma. Did I say that right?
Yeah,
Nanny
you
Ma?
did, Nanny
Yeah.
Ma. Yeah.
And
It was because when I was little, I was the oldest. I couldn't say grandma. I said Nana.
oh
So it turned
yeah,
into Nanny Ma.
I love that. I love little stories. See, that's oxytocin.
So I wanted
Even
to
just
share it.
like
Yeah.
sharing that story,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Now you
So
know that. No.
yeah, and I just feel like it doesn't have to be super complicated.
Mm-mm.
But when we attune ourselves to that, like I'm gonna chase oxytocin, even if it's like sharing stories or whatever. It's like it still builds oxytocin in our systems.
Now, with storytelling, interesting power in storytelling. To quote Stephen Sondheim, careful the tale you tell, that is the spell.
Ooh.
You ever see Into the Woods?
No, but I want to now.
It's good. It's a musical though, and Into the woods are like a
I
metaphor
have
for
seen that.
life.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. It's good. But like careful the tale you tell, that is the spell. So like when we tell stories, there's power in that. And when we write eulogies or say marriage vows or anything that's storytelling-esque, we really need to pay attention to what we're saying because we are kind of casting a spell. And
I tell my 5-year-old that all the time when she starts getting a little like down on herself or something. I'll say, you need to be very careful with the words you use. You're too powerful to cast spells like that.
ooh, yeah, you have so much power. I love that message. That's
Because
so
you know,
empowering.
all kids kind of get into this like, I'm not good enough, or I hate this, or I hate school, or I hate life, or whatever, you know.
Of course, yeah.
Like I take all those things seriously, but like
sassiness and
there's there's like a boundary testing thing that happens. Like
little velociraptors.
How depressed can I be before someone takes action or something? I don't know.
Testing fences all the time. Yep.
But I do think it's important to say like you're too powerful to cast spells like that.
You're so intentional with how you coach for their own, like how they think about their thoughts and how they
it's the next
so cool.
Next generation. Am I teaching them or are they teaching me?
It's going to be really interesting. Like, I mean, Junie's what, 6? 5. So, okay, 10 years from now when she's 15, you'll probably be able to tell. Like, well, before then too, but like, I'm just thinking, wouldn't it be cool if we could flash forward a decade and see, like, is all of this good work? How is this gonna manifest later, right? You're
Well,
planting these good thought seeds.
what I think is really cool is to have more than one child, because I actually see how they do it for each other. Like they coach each other sometimes, and that's really magical.
Yeah, they're co-storytelling.
Yeah.
They're like reinforcing that.
Right.
You're so cool.
Right.
You're raising these babies to have this amazing mental framing.
I am in the trenches myself and trying to heal and grow and evolve alongside them and allowing them to inspire me too.
Yeah. I imagine too, you're very like age appropriate, but you are transparent with your kids and share that mommy's figuring it out as I go too.
Yeah.
So that vulnerability and that realness about it, like probably helps them
and I
feel okay with stumbling through things.
I think things like natural life events have, especially in this time, has forced that, right? Like when COVID was happening, my kids were 5 and 3, and the boys were, Junie was born just that year, and why aren't we going to school, like, and having to, and we're all going, I don't know. Like the grown-ups are like, yeah, I don't know, this is weird.
The new normal.
Yeah, and I feel like ever since then there's just been more of that. There's been more of like, I don't know, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, there's not really been any collective repair work done as a country. It's just been more scar tissue.
Yeah.
There's really been no PT after injury.
You are absolutely right.
We're just like, I'll walk it off.
Throw some dirt in it. You'll be fine. Rub some dirt in and
super glue on.
But I think you're really talking about something that we could do a whole other episode on, right? Of just repair. But like you're absolutely right. We haven't repaired.
Actually, repair would be a beautiful topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm going into a thought.
I know. Well, let's say goodbye and we'll have our own fun.
Thank you guys for listening and letting me share about grief. The timing was so perfect. We were talking about different subjects and topics, tossing it around. It's like pretty immediately grief part 2.
Well, we started a grief topic the last episode, so it'll tag on nicely.
Part 2. All right.
Peace out, friends.
Thanks.